if you've spent any amount of time outdoors, you have some kind of weird experience. And, well, if you haven't, just wait. You will. I've heard things, seen things, and felt things I can't explain. But the one that sticks out the most was my experience at Wolf Rock. My first strange experience there happened opening morning of turkey season 2 years ago. My brother-in-law and I were stopped on the dirt road above the ridge overlooking Wolf Rock. It was about 30 minutes before daylight when we noticed lights coming from the ridge. They flickered like lanterns and were moving along the ridge toward us. Then they disappeared and reappeared down towards Wolf Rock. It was like they were on a loop, because when they reached about where Wolf Rock was, they would disappear and start all over again. We left, but curiosity was building inside and I knew I would be back. I did my research and come to find out Wolf Rock is an oddity for my area. It's the only cave system in this part of Louisiana. Native Americans used it until the early settlers came in and outlaws used it as a hideout during the late 1800s. I talked to more people about the area and was told not to go up there after dark. I had heard everything, from it's haunted to it's cursed, and I wish I would have heeded their warnings. I had decided I would wait for hunting season to end and camp out there. The season finally ended and I had all my gear loaded up and ready to go. As I turned onto that old dirt road, I had a thought to myself about how easy it would be to turn around and go back. But I shook it off. I made camp at the mouth of the cave and admired the beauty of the creek bottom below me. As the sun set, I had all but forgotten about the stories I had heard, overcome by the wonder and beauty of this place. I turned in for the night. It was so peaceful listening to the crickets sing their night song. I'm not sure how long I was asleep for, but I know that at some point through the night, I woke up because something felt off. It took me a minute to sit there and think about what was wrong, but then I realized that all the sounds of the crickets and wildlife had faded away. That's when I noticed the dark silhouette of a man, standing between my tent and the slowly dying campfire. I wasn't quite sure what to do. I yelled out from my tent, "Hey, can I help you?" No reply. I yelled again and still no reply. I turned to grab my handgun from my bag, but when I swung back around, it was gone. I couldn't sleep after that. I got out of the tent and stoked the fire. I heard sounds, but I couldn't figure out what they were until they drew closer. I could tell it was voices. I looked where the voices were coming from, and I could see lanterns heading for me. My heart was beating out of my chest as they drew closer and closer. Then, just like that, they were gone. I went back to the fire, thinking about leaving and coming back in the morning for my stuff. I decided to get my gun and bag and head back to the truck. As I was bent over in my tent grabbing my stuff, a shadow cast upon me. I turned and there was a man, wearing buckskins and holding a flint knife. He hollered and ran towards me. I emptied my revolver into him, but he kept coming. I was frozen in fear as he plunged the knife into my chest. I screamed in pain and he was gone. I reached my chest, but there was nothing and the pain was gone. I ran all the way back to the truck and headed home. I have never been back to Wolf Rock, and I don't know how to explain what happened. All I know is there is some strange shit going on in that place. And if anyone has any idea about what I have seen, please let me know.